As the Ottoman Empire fell, this map shows the territory lost during different time periods. The first area to be lost can be found north of the Black Sea, which was part of the country we now know as the Ukraine. As the decline in the empire progressed, one can see that the areas of Serbia, Croatia, and Hungary were the next to escape the rule of the empire. Egypt, Libya, and Algeria came next between 1878 and 1914. What was left after World War I was Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, and parts of Saudi Arabia. The Ottoman Empire finally ceased to exist in 1922. This chart was created during Renaissance times by cartographers who would create nautical charts and maps in hopes that the intended audience would purchase them. In this instance, the intended audience was the Sultan. This was created on parchment, which was produced from the hides of calves and other small animals. The artists would use the inside of the hide for charts, so as not to confuse hair follicles with drawings on the map. One can see the Ottoman Empire flag near the bottom, with a sultan in the middle of the chart. Since the cartographers of this chart were Italian, one can only assume the names of the places on the map are in Italian. The chart was created in 1664 as the empire was hitting the high slopes of its landmass. This painting is of Murad III, Sultan of the empire during the 17th century. His clothing would have been made of the finest textiles, and his head garment was made of a brocade silk fabric woven with silver and gold threads. This was how the Sultan was identified, as were the wealthy dignitaries of the day. This painting is from the 18th century and shows the heads of different regions of the Ottoman Empire arriving at the Topkapi Palace for a reception. Upon researching this painting, I found that this was just a small section of the entire painting in which one can see the palace and how many regions were represented. This painting depicts a scene from everyday life in the Ottoman Empire. It comes from the 16th century in Turkey. Family life in Turkey had very strict gender roles and rules. Families tended to stay together under one roof, with the eldest male having charge over it all. Marriages were arranged, and women had no power. The lives of these families were simple and had no power as there was no hereditary aristocracy.